welcome to everyone, and we'll call the Calloway County Fiscal Court to order. It's May 21st, 9 o'clock. If you will, all stand. We'll pledge the flag, and then I'll offer a brief prayer, and we'll commence with business. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our God and our Father, we humbly, as we know how, come before you this morning, Lord. Praise it with praise and edification of your holy name, Father, for you're so good to us. Father, we just thank you for the loving kindness, the mercy, and the grace that you've shown us here in Calloway County. Father, for the instruction, we just pray that all that we do this morning would be in accordance with your will and for your glory. And Father, as we begin to celebrate this Memorial Day weekend, we truly thank you for those who have served our nation, Father, and given their lives in that service, that we could have the freedom as public people to approach your throne this morning. And Father, we just humbly ask that we acknowledge ourselves, Father, before you and before our fellow man, that we are truly public servants. And as Christ our God proclaimed to us, truly being a servant is to be of service to you, Father, and to the people that we do serve. So bless us in our endeavors this morning. May it all be done for your glory and for the good of the people of Calloway County. We humbly ask in Jesus, our Savior's name. Amen. Okay, before we get into official business, Mike Oliver, who's with KYTC, and our what are you, sub-district, sub-regional? You got the three counties. Section chief. So Michael is here every year to present the state's program to us. So Michael, it's all yours.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, magistrates. Here again, as the judge said, to go over the rural secondary recommendations like I do every year. This year, the 2025-2026 allocation for Calloway County is $1,630,026. There was an undistributed balance in the account from last year or years past of $185,848,000. So we're going to add that back into it, and that's going to leave a total for improvements of $1,824,874. As we do in, or as we have in years past, the first recommended improvement is the maintenance of 154.8 state miles of rural secondary at $3,500 per mile. Comes up to be $542,000 minus the county expenses, which is recommendation number 2. Recommendation number 3 is the flex funds. As in years past, the state will carve out a portion of the rural secondary funds to give to the county for work on their county road system. This year we kept Calloway County in the 25% bracket, which means that their portion is $409,757. That's flex funds that'll be given to the county for paving. The fourth recommendation we have is what we consider in-place patching. That is just various patching, bridge ends, potholes, base failures around the county, $119,000. We've really put an emphasis this year on our infrastructure, our aging infrastructure. We do have a bridge on Kentucky 1836 Downing Road at the 8.3 mile marker, which is a bridge over Damon Creek that is currently posted at 10 tons. And so we're going to replace that bridge with something that, of course, is new, something that's not posted, something that meets full load limits. The estimated cost on that is $500,000. Again, if we do any of these projects for less than what we think, that will show up as an undistributed balance next year. And so then item number 6, we've just got various bridge repairs. We've got some overlays that need to be done. We've got some bridge end repairs, some cracking, some concrete work. So we estimate that at $250,000. On the next page, I've got a map of Calloway County, which indicates where a lot of this work is going to be. Also, other projects that we have ongoing. We have up in the northwest, we've got the 1836, where that bridge is located. Again, that will be a full replacement, so there will be a closure involved in that. But once we get closer to time and have a plan put together, we'll put out a press release on that. We do have 641 from 4th Street to Glendale. All of that will be paved this summer. We've already got the contract in my office, and it will be nighttime work, so a lot of that work will be done at night. I think the city has already identified a couple of manholes and stuff that they want to rework while we're doing this paving, so we'll work in conjunction with them and get all that work done in short order. US 641X, which what we have up here, seems like we've been working on it for 10 years, but it's close to Elm Street, and then we're going to continue on to Heiberger. Heiberger is where a lot of the base failures and stuff are at, so we're going to go to Heiberger and then continue to do curb and gutter all the way to Vine Street. There will be sidewalks and some other things that'll be done there as well. So we hope that'll be done this fall. There again, the contractor that does that also helps us with a lot of this bridge work, so it's kind of like a catch-22. We're glad to do bridge work, but that takes away from some other things. So we'll try to work those in as we can. We've got Kentucky 280, which is going to be eastbound work only from the 94 connector to the Marshall County line. It's about, I think it was 4.5 miles long. Again, that's just eastbound lane only. We did westbound a year or so ago, so that'll be done this summer. We have a couple of bridges on Kentucky 121. We have the one currently we're working on over Clayton Creek. Contractor, we set beams. We've done some other stuff. They're pretty far along on that. We hope that sometime around end of August, 1st of September, that bridge will be wrapping up, and then they will move directly down to the next bridge, which is over Blood River. The one at Blood River will not be, it won't have a diversion or a detour like the one we have now. It's going to be half width construction, which is it's good, and it has its pros and its cons. It's going to be slower because we have to keep one lane open, but because of the width of that stream there, the river, we couldn't do a diversion, and there's no good detour to get around. So it's going to basically, we're going to close half the road, build the bridge, and then do the other half. And so that's going to take probably, it's going to take several months to get that done. So, but that will be done after we get done with the bridge over Clayton Creek. We do have a couple of other bridges. We've got one over Beachy Creek that will be taking care of that construction. Even though it is a county road, we're handling the construction and the administrative work on that. We do have a possibility of some other things coming up from time to time, but as of now, this is kind of the lion's share of all the work that we know that's going to be done this year in Calloway County.
Question for Michael from members of court.
Mike, I may just, since you mentioned it the other day, we talked about Highway 299 and 80 and just the safety concerns there, and that you all are looking at that.
Yeah, we are. We have had some outreach to us about 299 and 80 about some wrecks out there, some traffic issues, and so we've looked at a couple of different things about possibly lowering the speed limit, but then we don't, that's only as good as people following the speed limit. So, but what we think the best option is to put in our R-cut there. And when 80 was built, that intersection there is wide enough. The turn lanes and stuff, it's going to allow for a fairly easy installation of an R-cut. So we're going to be looking at putting that in this summer. There again, it's the same contractor that does 4th Street and does our bridge work. So we're going to have to kind of work it in, but it will just be some concrete work, basically cutting off the crossover and making a couple of turn lanes. So we'll see that this summer as well.
Further questions? Not, Michael, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate your work, and you've been most gracious and helpful with us here in Calloway County.
Yes, sir. You've got my number. Holler at me anytime. Thank y'all.
Okay, at this time, we'll get into our regular orders of business. First will be our old business, and we will, you have in your packet the minutes from the April 16th regular scheduled meeting. If any additions or corrections, notations need to be added to those meetings. If not, I'd need a motion to approve them.
Make a motion to approve the April 16th meeting minutes as written. Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next order would be the minutes from the April 28th special call meeting. Those are also in your packets. Any questions, additions, corrections? If not, I need a motion.
I'd make the same motion for April 28th meeting. Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next would be the special call meeting of May 12th, to approve those minutes.
I'd make the same motion for the May 12th meeting. Second.
Rick's gonna second, so, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I think that gets all the minutes from all the meetings. So, Madam Treasurer, the floor is yours. First, we'll entertain the financial statement.
Yes, sir. On your financial cover sheet for April the 30th, 2025, receipts are $19,920,422.39. Disbursements is $12,469,851.06. Ending cash balance is $7,450,571.33.
Any questions on the financial statement? If not, we need a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk, Treasurer.
Your total encumbrances for general fund is $335,568.74. Road fund is $224,926. Jail fund is $50,647.57. 911 fund is $16,353.90. ARPA fund is $233,630.75. The clerk's storage fee is $700, and the auto tax insurance is $176,131.82.
Is motion to pay the bills.
Make a motion to pay the bills. Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Madam Treasurer.
I do have a cash transfer, from the Murray Bank money market into the general fund in the amount of $600,000, and also another transfer from general fund to the road fund in the amount of $600,000.
Okay, motion to approve cash transfers from those two accounts.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. You have a
I have a
budget amendment? Yes, ma'am.
I do have one budget amendment. This is increasing funds in the road fund in 02-4514 transportation cabinet in the amount of $51,805, and the distribution going
Motion to approve the budget amendment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Madam Treasurer?
I'm also, requesting the court to approve, it's two separate accounts, and so I guess we'll need to do these separate. I'm requesting that we close out the ARPA accounts at the Murray Bank. There is a check in this check run in the amount of $233,630.75. Once that check clears the bank, I can go in and, close out the ARPA account.
Questions? Motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Also, there's another account that's just sitting stagnant. It's our flexible benefit account. This used to be our insurance account. There is the amount of $6,427.61. I'm requesting to get a cashier's check from the Murray Bank and depositing that into the general fund and closing the account.
Is there a motion to transfer the funds and close the account once that's completed? Have a motion, second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And that concludes that part.
Okay, I'll mention, also, runs through Tanya, that, we received a, request for payment to, the MAG block grant, $214,000 from Clark Construction. That's in our monthly expenses, but, you know, once that grant's fulfilled, then it'll switch over to a different account, but just to make mention of that. Okay, anybody think of any other old business we need to consider? If not, we'll move to new business. First item would be the consideration of the 25-26 budget. Tanya, you want to comment on it as a second reading, and then we'll go into a public hearing.
Yes, the DLG, if you look, everybody has a complete fresh copy of the budget. DLG approved the budget on 4/23 and 25. The only changes that was made, Robert Brown did strike out a few of the lines in the standing order, but other than that, everything remains the same. And I don't have to make any changes on it, he just struck it out. I've already talked to him about it.
Before we go into public hearings, any questions of members of the court regarding the budget? Okay, at this time, we'll recess public comment on the Callaway County budget for the next fiscal year, which will begin July 1st and run through June 30th of next year. Any members of the public wish to comment on the budget? If not, we'll go back into regular orders. We'll need a motion to approve the budget.
I make a motion to approve the FY '26 budget as presented. Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, at last month's regular meeting, the Administrative Ordinance Committee presented an ordinance addressing street legal special purpose vehicles for the first reading, and since the committee met on May 12th and reviewed the ordinance, based on some recommended wording changes from KACO and the fact that the Transportation Cabinet will be meeting in June to promulgate the new state law, the committee recommends that we do hold off the second reading and actual adoption of that until our July meeting. Therefore, we'll take no action on that at this time. Typically, we have first reading one month and the following month have the second reading, but we will wait till the July meeting to consider any changes that Transportation Cabinet may suggest or revise. So, any questions on that? Okay. Today we have a resolution to approve the execution of a memorandum of MOA, okay, from the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet to fix Clayton Town Road Bridge at the cost of $410,000. This is part of the county's budget improvement, the CCBIP that will be administered by the state. As y'all heard on Monday, this is the third bridge that we have gotten approved through that program for the county. We've previously been awarded Purchase Trail and Clayton Drive in the first phase and this second phase, and we are currently working on third phase submission. We've run in a little hang up with that, but I've sent a letter to Kyle Pope this morning asking for his consultation and all, and how we can proceed with that. That would be for the Hopkins Road Bridge. So anyway, that's kind of on hold now, but we are approving the memorandum of agreement with Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for the Clayton Town Road Bridge. I know we've got Clayton Drive Bridge and Clayton Town, so not to be confused. This is Clayton Town Bridge, so I need approval to sign that contract with KYTC.
Make a motion to allow you to sign the contract as presented.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I think we all have to sign that though, don't we? Yeah. Anyway, hang around afterwards. We all have to sign that. In addition, we have a resolution to recognize National EMS Week, and I'll ask Madam Clerk to read the resolution, please.
Yes, sir. A resolution recognizing National Emergency Medical Services Week. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital service to our community, and the dedicated professionals who provide pre-hospital care play a critical role in improving survival and recovery rates of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas the EMS system in Calloway County is provided by the Murray-Calloway County Hospital's Ambulance Service, established July 31st, 1973, and consists of emergency physicians, nurses, paramedics, emergency medical technicians, dispatchers, firefighters, educators, administrators, and others who work tirelessly, often under challenging conditions, to deliver life-saving care to those in need. And whereas the many EMS professionals who work for MCCH have been recognized for dedication to providing high-quality service as they respond to hundreds of calls for help each year, providing essential around-the-clock services to our community. And whereas the theme of National EMS Week 2025, observed from May 18th through May 24th, is honoring our past, forging our future, highlighting the legacy, resilience, and continued innovation of EMS providers. And whereas this week is an opportunity to recognize and celebrate the service, accomplishments, sacrifice, and commitment of all EMS personnel, as well as to educate the public the role of EMS in public health and emergency preparedness. Now therefore be it resolved that the Fiscal Court of Calloway County does hereby recognize the week of May 18th through 24 as National EMS Week, and encourages all residents to express their gratitude and appreciation to EMS professionals for their ongoing dedication to health, safety, and well-being of our communities. Approved, resolved, adopted, and executed on the 21st day of May 2025.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You stop and think about that. I think you said 1973. It's 52 years that the hospital and EMS has been providing service to Calloway County, and as a former ambulance jockey, I guess you could call them, in my prior life, you stop and think about 52 years that we've had the service provided by professional people. When a lot of us would go out, you'd stick a cannula on you, give you some oxygen, get you to the hospital. That's all we knew about it. But to see the work that they do now, the training that they have to receive, it's very admirable. And I was noticed on hospital board's last meeting, I think, the hospital EMS, looks like we're averaging about 400 to 500 calls a month. Now, you think about that, that's a lot of time and a lot of service put in, but 400 to 500 calls a month. Some of those may be transports and things like that, but still, it's just an awesome number when you really get to think about it. So this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the resolution. Need a motion second.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Also in your packet is a proclamation proclaiming Building Safety Month. We'll waive the reading of that, but I guess we need to go do an approval on it. Okay. Without objection, we'll just process that and approve it, but we want to truly recognize building safety because building covers the whole gamut. Another new business, on Monday we opened a request RFP for Grubbs Bridge as a part of the emergency bridge request for the state. In your packets, a copy of the only one we received, which is the only, the response to the RFP that we received was from Jim Smith Contracting. Their estimate to fix the bridge is $89,629, which we just approved a budget amendment for $51,805 of that. That's will be coming from our emergency funds that the state withholds out of our annual allocation. So we'll be paying, the fiscal court itself will be paying the difference between the $89,629 and the $51,805, which is about $48,000. So need approval to sign the RFP with the state and with the Jim Smith Contracting.
I'll move. Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Before we go on to board appointments, I would like the court's approval to move forward with the, it's not a paving request, it's sort of a negotiated thing between Western Shores and the county. And basically what this would do is set up the next 4 years, which would complete our contractual obligations with the court settlement. Divides it up pretty evenly over the next 4 years, but it gives a workable plan that's to the neighborhood's benefit as far as getting the roads paved that houses are already on, and also helps with the contractor pricing to most of those in grouped areas rather than just here, yonder, and everywhere. So this has been worked out with the past president and president of the Homeowner Association at Western Shores, and it just, rather than us having to come in and redo this, we'd adopt it today, then that will be our lead for this year and the subsequent 3 years, which will fulfill our obligations. So I would like for the court to go ahead and vote to approve that and adopt it as, here's what we're going to try to do, and then that way we don't have to come back and piecemeal it every year. Just sort of set the program up. A subsequent court could change that, or this court could at any time. But I would like y'all's approval to notify them this is our plan and intention, and kind of set it up for now and the future. So I would request that in the form of a motion to approve that plan that you have a copy of.
Second. With a question.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
So what if one of these roads is scheduled for 2027 happens to build up quicker than something that's planned for 2026? Would we alter it because more houses developed on a different road?
I think in theory we could, but we would come back to the court. The court would have to switch plans. I mean, we're adopting this as a plan, and of course the court's got the authority to change those plans at any time. That, yeah, I mean, that would be common sense. We've tried to hit those first, couple of them on tail end or gravel roads that don't have any building on it, but we're obliged to get them paved. So, yes, to answer your question.
Not on the list that you gave us, I did find a few number errors, and I will provide you with that.
Okay. Is it substantive?
No, it's not. It's just Paul being very detailed,
Okay.
Yes, typos that you just caught, is that what it is?
possibly.
Well, if there's nothing major, if it's,
Yeah, it's nothing major.
out of whack, we'll come back and correct it officially, but I'd like to go ahead and set that up as the master plan, if you would call it that. So we'll adopt your numbers as part of that, as long as you can assure the members of the court that, you know, it's not a major.
No, it is, we're talking tenths, less than a mile.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So with that consideration, is, we do have a motion. I made the motion to approve. You seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Today we have a request from Murray Airport Board to reappoint 3 members to another 3-year term. Those, Tim Cantrell and Steve Owens have agreed to serve another term. However, Brandon Kendall declined. Therefore, I would name Scott England, who has officially applied for an appointment to the board. And so we would basically reappoint Tim and Steve to it, and then also appoint Scott England as a new member. Their terms will begin on May the 16th and run through May of 2028. I'll make a motion to approve those. Need a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And lastly, by executive order, I appointed Jeanette DeWitt to the Board of Assessment Appeals to replace Earlene Woods, whose term expires June 15th, 2025. You all know Jeanette has served on the board previously, but you can only serve, 2 terms, and you have to go off, but she's been off long enough to reappoint her. Jeanette's been handling our Western Shore stuff, and by way of report, I think we still have 5 lots to sell. We just sold 1 in the last month, so we have 5 of those left. But anyway, the advisory thing, have appointed Earlene to, have appointed Jeanette to take Earlene's place. And also appointed Michael Stanger as the chair of the Board of Appeals for this year. They meet when, in June, I think.
Right, it's June 17th.
Okay. So anybody wants to appeal whatever the BVA's got, June 17th?
No, that's over.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. Yesterday was the last day to appeal,
Okay,
and the actual meeting before the board is June 17th.
okay. Sorry, stand corrected. In your packet are the personnel changes that Tori and HR has filled out. You've looked and considered those. That these have taken place since our last meeting, and need a motion to approve those personnel changes, resignations, hires, grade levels, whatever they may be in there.
I'll make a motion to approve the personnel changes as presented. Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. This time we're ready for committee reports. So, Tina, you want to report?
Yes, sir. The Admin Ordinance Committee did meet in regular session on May the 12th. Committee members, Paul Resser, myself, were there. Don was absent. We did discuss, as you know, the ordinance for street legal special purpose vehicles. That was recommended to postpone till July. Also talked about a couple of other ordinances pertaining to electrical building inspections. That took no action, but we will be putting some information on our website for clarification. And then we also started considering several changes that will be made to the admin code, and those changes will be submitted in June for fiscal court approval. So the next meeting of that committee will be on June the 9th, regular time, 3 o'clock. And the safety committee also met. Tori, do you want to present? You want me? You have minutes of both of these meetings in your packet. They met on March the 13th. They also have a meeting coming up tomorrow at 8 a.m. So we want to make sure that everyone is in attendance. They're making great progress on several avenues that have to do with safety in the county. So that committee continues to meet on a regular basis. And those are the committee reports for this month.
Okay, Tori, you want to come up and just mention about the MASA, the air ambulance thing, what that's about, and why we need to bless it or whatever?
We received an email yesterday from Hub saying that we needed to renew our MASA. MASA is an option that we offer to all of our employees. It's an air ambulance, air evac and ambulance supplemental insurance that is offered to all of our full-time employees. So we have to sign an agreement. So I just need approval from the court to allow the judge to sign for this, to continue the supplemental insurance.
So nothing changed from last year?
No.
This is a payroll deduction thing. It's just,
And it's
sign.
optional. So they have to
Yeah,
sign
yeah.
up to have that payroll deduction.
Part of their benefit package.
Correct.
But it's optional.
Second?
basically the motion is to approve signing of the contract with MASA personnel to provide that, and Tanya obviously can do the payroll thing. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, before we get into official staff reports, Chris and the road department had suggested Monday at our meeting, and prior we had all discussed it, I think. We just got the new dump truck. It's in service. Our two other tandem trucks are getting older and showing wear and tear, and right now takes about a year. You have to order it now to get it a year from now, to order new ones. And his recommendation and mine is that we go ahead and authorize he or I to go ahead and place an order for two of them. If, when the court meets next year, if we decide we didn't want one, we could obviously, I think, stand a pretty good chance of selling it, probably at a profit even. Secondly, we can outright purchase, depending on the road funds, one or both, or we could lease those, and we just have to check the leasing options versus money that Tanya would have in the treasury to purchase. But it would be my recommendation that we go ahead and order two of the dump trucks now. They're pretty much like the new one we just got. The sides aren't quite as tall, but some configuration of the beds on them allows for almost the same amount of yardage, as far as to move. So recommendation would be to allow us to go ahead and sign purchase orders for the two dump trucks. And again, at the time we can decide whether purchase, lease, sell, keep, whatever. So I guess we need a motion to do that, Brian? Well, I think it makes it a lot cleaner if we do, so I would make that in form of a motion. Motion second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next thing we need to talk about, is Emily here? Huh? Okay. Do you want to discuss the animal shelter, the partnership with Best Friends Animal Society? Just kind of give everybody a briefing on what that is and might be involved.
So on Monday at our work session, we had a representative from Best Friends Animal Society. I believe, Paul, they were out of Utah, is that correct? They're a national nonprofit. Their goal obviously is to help us achieve 100% or 90% no kill. So they are offering up, and Brian, there is no contract, because I did ask that question in the meeting on Monday. We don't have to sign a contract with them, but they are offering up significant training, materials, services that will be provided not directly to us as a check but it will be gifts in kind that they will be working directly with our animal shelter staff on. So given the presentation and the lack of the fact that we have to commit to a contract, I think it was universally agreed on Monday to go ahead and allow the animal shelter to pursue that partnership with that nonprofit and see how it goes.
Okay, without any questions about that, I mean, all of you heard the presentation, so we'll just agree to it. Okay. Counselor, words of wisdom.
I guess I tell all the kids out there that just got out of school yesterday, I think most school systems had their last day for students yesterday. Be safe.
Would you like to introduce your guest?
Yes, first, I'm going to introduce Eli Finley. Eli, stand up. This is Eli Finley. He's going to be interning, shadowing at my office. He's interested in becoming an attorney. And so we're going to show him what that looks like. Eli just graduated from Calloway County High School. Some of you may remember seeing him as he point guard leading our high school basketball team. Thank you, Eli. I also brought, my eldest child, Emery, stand up and turn around and give him a nice wave. That's my little girl and my boy, Don, stand up. It's their first day off school, and so they wanted to see what Dad did. We'll see if they actually come back. Thanks, Judge.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Ms. Antonia?
Nothing today, thank you so much, Phil.
Tanya, anything further?
You wanted to say something?
No.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna close our office for some training today from 12 to 3:30, so if you hear of anybody coming by, just save them a trip up the steps. It's a lot to do with the ordinance for the ATV and special purpose vehicles and taxation and insurance, so it'll profit the county for sure.
Do you have anything else?
No, sir, just thank you for approving the budget.
Paul?
Yes, sir. The court is aware that I've been on a task, a mission with TVA to find some land that we could help renovate, upgrade. And so I presented to the court a few times Boatwright Trail, which TVA has offered to us as a recreational area, but there is a permitting process to begin. We've turned in the preliminary request. It's now time, if we want to move forward, to turn in the 26A permit, which requires all the design work and what we specifically want to do with the area. And of course, we have been partnering with the Callaway County Tourism Commission on this endeavor. But with that permit fee, with that permit, there is a fee of $1,500, which I would request that I'd make an motion that we could go ahead and submit that permit and have the treasurer write a check for that $1,500. There was some questions at our meeting from a webinar that Gina had sent it on about additional costs. I did check into those, and in the fine print of the contract, it does say that if they incur other expenses while doing their review of the land, that we would be responsible for those. We don't know what they are or how much they would be, and so there's the question mark. I also bounced that off of the Tourism Commission yesterday, or some of the members, and the Tourism Commission is, if the court can't afford it, then the Tourism Commission would be willing to help with that, although they would rather leave their money for future, the actual development and the fishing piers and all that stuff. But I would go ahead and ask in the form of a motion to submit that 26A permit with the $1,500 fee.
Okay, what is the my question would be, what is the qualifying thing that tourism, when we can't and they take over? I mean, is there, do you have?
Well, again, there isn't the large unknown of will there be any other fees and how much will they be? And I think a couple of the members of the Tourism Commission said, well, you know, we're not going to be on the line for $30,000 or $50,000, and I think the court wouldn't either. I think there is probably a line in the sand that we could draw as we go down through there and decide that this is, you know, if they find oil or burial grave sites or Indian artifacts, that we may just not be able to pursue this any further financially. But we don't know until we get there.
Basically, right now, your motion is that we go ahead and file the thing and spend the $1,500, but that's the limit for now without coming back to the court.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that understood by everybody?
I second that.
Okay. Motion second, then. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. That's all I have.
Anything else? Don?
No, thank you, Judge. The only thing I would add would be the speed the road department's been getting some things done that's been turned in. I appreciate it. I think the road department has continued to improve on their service. I look back a few years ago, some of the things I turned in, how long it took to get fixed, or if you even got lost. So I appreciate what the road department's been doing.
Squire Crutcher?
It's good to see the young people interested enough to come to court.
I agree. Rick?
I'd like to thank Paul for taking on this endeavor. A lot of things we look like it would be a simple process turns into multiple roadblocks and detours, and somebody has to persist to get to the end, and I appreciate him doing that. And also, of course, I'm sure everybody's getting lots of calls about different things on the roads and trees and all the things. It seems like we can't get a break on trees being across the road, and I know it's taken a mammoth effort from lots of people to take care of it, and everybody's just got to be patient, because we can only do what we can do when we can do it. And I know it's, when you're driving over a hump or driving around a tree or whatever it is, it gets to you, but still, we as a whole county can only do what we can do, and that's all we can do. So just have patience with everybody.
I couldn't agree more, especially with those. I mean, we can do only what we can do. We've authorized overtime different times trying to at least keep major roadways clear and fixing potholes. I mean, it just takes time with the number of roads that we've got. I keep trying to stress that to, well, anybody that'll listen, but Frankfurt in particular. And by the way, pursuant to what we kind of agreed to last fall when we cleaned all the bridges and all, you know, with hopes of kind of keeping them maintained without objection. The road department still doesn't have somebody certified to start spraying, so without objection, like I said, we'll start that as soon as whatever weather clears to start spraying for the brush to keep those maintained. I mean, we've invested in that. It's just like we're going down the parkways. The state cleans that brush back, and if you let it go too far, then you're gonna have the same thing have to happen again, so some maintenance, would be required this time, so we'll start that process. If we did it all and took it all, we're probably talking about neighborhood $20,000, but that'll get the 91 bridges sprayed and hopefully under the woody growth and all. You want the grass there, but this special spray just for the brush kind of stuff, to keep that in abatement, and hopefully then that'll help the road department in the future, keep it maintained, keep it clear where people can see what they're going. And we've been down to Old Salem, work's progressing there. Of course, the rain keeps hindering that. It was our hope maybe at least a couple of months ago that we'd pretty well be close to open, but they're making progress on the days that they can work. They are working when they're there, and so hopefully as soon as the weather lets up a little bit, we can get that bridge will be opened, and I think that'll be an asset too, what we did at one of our special meetings too, to leave the old bridge and kind of make a fishing family atmosphere park kind of going along with what we're talking about at Boat Ride, just to add something for families in the county. It's not going to be a park or anything, but it'll be a place where you carry your grandkids down, fish a little bit, and do different things. It won't be anything extravagant, but I think it'll be a real asset. So with that, Jailer, you got any comment? Ken, Claude, Chris, anything else road-wise?
We've got a lot of trees, we appreciate the court's patience with removal. We have had some overtime, but they're moving along, removing the trees. We went to pick up the gray all today.
We are picking it up today.
Picking up that internal track out, and we appreciate the approval of the dust box very much.
Well, and I agree with what Don said earlier. I mean, I can see a vast improvement, I think, in work ethic and people understanding their responsibility. Again, as I mentioned earlier, you know, we're public servants. We need to take that at heart. We're here to serve the public the best we can, and I think the road department's really coming along very well. Justin, anything you want to talk about bridge or anything? Sheriff?
I'm good, thank you.
Josh?
Yes, sir.
Tori?
I just want to mention admin code changes, so anybody who needs, or feels something needs changed to get it to me, so that we can get it through the admin committee meeting and get it approved next court session.
Tracy, is that you back there hiding?
I am hiding.
Do you wish to say anything regarding health department or anything?
Health department's running along, sir. Thank you.
Jeremy?
I just let the court know that, as you're aware, a big part of our role in tourism is to market Murray Calloway County. So today, tomorrow, and Friday, we have professional fishermen. Yes, there are people that get paid to fish. We've contracted with them. They're now called Fishing University. We contracted with them last year, but they'll be on the lake the next 3 days in our part of the world, hopefully catching some big fish. And then following spring of 26, they'll have a 30-minute show on Blood River and our portion of Kentucky Lake fishing. This evening, we're meeting with the fishing team of Callaway County High School, so they'll be filming them, giving them words of advice. So we're excited to have them help us spread the word of quality fishery we have here in Kentucky Lake out of Callaway County. So they're here the next 3 days, and somehow they picked the best 3 days we've had in a while to go fishing. So hopefully it goes well for them, and they can let people know about Callaway County.
Thanks, sir. We will recess in a minute for an executive session. There won't be any action taken following that. It's just discussion with the magistrates under KRS 61.810(1)F. But when we come back in session, it'll just be basically a motion to adjourn. So unless somebody's got any further business we need to bring before the court right now. If not, we will recess and go into executive session. Well, we need a motion to recess to go into executive session. motion second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed?